Word to Big Bird, welcome to another episode of the People's Lima, episode number 46. I am your host, Eric Lima. It's a midweek report of the People's Lima. Let's see what's going on. Ryan Madsen, who is rumored to be going to the Red Sox and all, has signed a one-year deal with the Cincinnati Reds that will help the Reds bullpen, and they got themselves a closer. So good job for good for Cincinnati. As you know, the Red Sox picked up Andrew Bailey in a trade from Oakland, so I predict that it will be between him and Mark Melancon. It will be and if Bobby Jenks comes back from his injury, be very interesting as to which one of those three gentlemen will end up as the Sox closer. In football news, everybody's talking about Patriots Broncos. My prediction, it will be an even matchup. And if the Broncos defeat the Patriots, there will be a Cinderella dark horse team to win the Super Bowl. And if they can find a way to beat the Patriots, they can find a way to beat the Green Bay Packers. Who knows? But if New England ends up winning, I see New England and the Green Bay Packers in the Super Bowl. The Packers have the advantage because of the way New England's defense is and all that. But right now, I'm not going to look forward to the Super Bowl. I'm going to look forward one game at a time like the Patriots are doing. And see the Patriots and Broncos. They're going to make some adjustments. I think it's going to be an even matchup. And either way, the game will be, score will be by a field goal. The margin of the score will be by a field goal. Either team can win it. No problem there. The other matchups, Green Bay Packers going up against my brother-in-law and my sister's team, the New York Giants, as the New Orleans Saints go do battle against Jim Harbaugh and the 49ers. So it'll be very interesting to see who wins those matchups. And who knows if the Green Bay gets eliminated? Who's going to win the Super Bowl? Who knows? But I only know for sure the Packers could end up winning the whole thing. I'm not so sure. We'll find out. Anything can happen in the NFL. People say, "Oh, the Patriots are going to beat the Broncos," but anything can happen. So I'm not underestimating any other team. I know I'm a Patriots fan, but I'm trying to be impartial here. That's the way I roll. That's the way I see things. And interesting news on Monday Night Raw. I'm going to talk about Raw. It was quite interesting. You see CM Punk go up against Jack Swagger, and the referee made an errant count. Jack Swagger clearly had his shoulder up on a 2 count, but the referee counted 3. So it could be interesting situations. This could make the situation between CM Punk, the WWE champion, and Dolph Ziggler that more interesting with John Laurinaitis, the special guest referee, the Royal Rumble. Are we going to see a new WWE champion? Who knows? Jericho showed up for the third time, and it's like for the second time, and he's not saying a word. Jericho, do us all a favor and start talking. Why are you back? I have a gut feeling CM Punk may want to go after him, or does he have a special grave challenge in mind for WrestleMania? Could the Dead Man be on Jericho's hit list at WrestleMania? Who knows? Who knows for sure what's running through Jericho's mind? Cena-Kane feud is going on. They brawled all over the place. Kane supposedly injured Zack Ryder, which means Zack Ryder will be unable to defend the United States title this coming Monday as advertised. We'll see what happens in that situation. Will John Laurinaitis be a goof up and decide to give Swagger the belt, which probably angered a lot of fans, or will they postpone the match for next week? Who knows? Depends on how Zack Ryder feels. And if Zack Ryder does forfeit the title to Zack Swagger, it's Kane's fault. Kane, you're going to get it. But the fact of the matter is this. Kane does not understand why the people does not like Cena, and Kane screwed up in the head. Already. You say Cena sucks. You suck. Kane. There's some hardcore wrestling fans out there that don't like Cena. That doesn't mean they don't like themselves, Kane. Get that through your head. Understand why the fans are saying Cena sucks before you jump to conclusions, my friend. You may be a 7-foot freak, but I'll tell you one thing. You don't have a whole lot up here. Think about it, man. Think about it. And the Daniel Bryan situation, I think the heel turn is on the way because the way Daniel Bryan's been acting, and still, despite that, Michael Cole still does not like him. So I don't know. Michael Cole's toned down his heel attitude just a bit this Monday night. I applaud him for that. So I'm probably sick and tired of all the pictures I've been tweeting up about him on Twitter, on my Twitter account. So it's pretty funny. He's probably getting annoyed. I better tone it down before this guy decides to go crazy and puts up another pic making fun of me. If that's the case, man, I would say, Michael, I think I've done my job here. Okay, let's talk about Brodus Clay. Now, everybody's talking about Monster. Brodus Clay. He's waited and waited and waited to make his debut. He was supposed to make his debut last week, but it didn't happen. So, and I was like, and when Justin Roberts announced him as from the planet the Funkasaurus, I'm like, huh? And then all of a sudden you hear Ernest the Cat Miller's old theme song in the WWE, Somebody Calling My Mama. And then you saw two dancers who looked familiar. One of them was Ariane Andrew, who was a contestant on Tough Enough. And she was the one that was the first girl to be eliminated, and was the one that said to Stone Cold's, said right in Stone Cold's face that Melina and Alicia Fox for the Divas title at SummerSlam was her favorite matchup. Facepalm moment right there. I mean, there were other matches. I would have said, Hogan versus The Rock at WrestleMania 18, or Steamboat and Savage WrestleMania 3, those kind of matches. Or if you want to suck up to Stone Cold, and him against Bret Hart at WrestleMania 13. But, I love Melina. She's my favorite diva, but Melina against Alicia Fox, not the answer you want to go for in your elimination matchup. So like in our You Serious Bro moment. But actually, Brodus Clay comes out. Now, he's a big man, about 6'8", about 375. And he came out rocking the Adidas gear, almost the Adidas-like gear. It looks like the fourth long-lost member of Run DMC. He's got the hat like Run DMC. He looked like an 80s rapper back in the day. Only he's now has a clock around his neck, and looked like LL Cool J's hat there, Little Fisher hat. But he's got the cool looking hat. I forget the name of that hat. It was called a bowl hat or something like that. I forget what kind of hat what it was. But it was Run DMC like hats. And he's got some new moves, but he's got to learn how to move. I think Rikishi can help him with that. Everybody's saying he's the love child. He's the PG version of Viscera. Nah, it's far from the truth, man. He's big as Viscera, but Viscera cannot dance as well as Rikishi. That's the only thing. He's a PG version of Viscera. He's not going PG in nothing. If you get the Godfather, Rikishi, Viscera together, ball them up, roll them to one, and then get them, ball them together and give them some, boom, you got Brodus Clay, the Funkasaurus. I got a kind of kick out of the gimmick. I thought it was pretty funny. So I hope like I said, Somebody Call My Mama. I love that theme song. That theme song is funny. Even when Taz sang it when Ernest the Cat Miller was in the WWE. So it'll be really interesting to see how this gimmick goes. I'd like to see him contend for the Intercontinental Championship or for the United States title if Swagger wins it by Fort Fair or something like that. I don't know what's going to go on in that storyline. So if they're going to give Zack Ryder a week to rest up, hey, that's fine. I'm sure Laurinaitis will probably, hopefully, if Laurinaitis is smart, that's what he would do. Alright, like I said, the CM Punk Ziggler situation, every situation now is the road to WrestleMania begins with the Royal Rumble. Who's going to be in it? Who do you think is going to win the Royal Rumble? I think my pick, it will be very interesting to see. Brodus Clay's going to have an excellent show at the Royal Rumble, but I do not think he's going to win it. Will we see Jericho win the Royal Rumble? I like to see Jericho could be the odds-on favorite, dark horse favorite to win the Royal Rumble, because a lot of guys in there, with Orton out of action for quite a while, that could mean, any possibilities. Barrett and Sheamus could have a say, and all this. And the Drew McIntyre situation is not looking good. If he loses one more match, he could end up being canned. So I don't know. He may end up joining his ex-wife on the future endeavored list. And he may be the first future endeavored dude of 2012 if McIntyre does not do anything about it. As you know, Santino Marella has won the right to be the assistant to the general manager of SmackDown Theater all along. Like I said, it's going to be very, very interesting to see what Santino brings to the table. Then you got the Divas division. We have not seen the Divas champ Beth Phoenix enough ever since she got clocked in the face. And I'm sure she'll want retribution because of that. we saw Tamina having a new attitude change, turning against Natalia in a tag match. So, be very interested to see how how this is going about the women's division. As you know, AJ's hung up with Daniel Bryan, so that could that doesn't help. Just do your thing. And tonight's NXT, so I'm going to be watching that pretty soon to see what's going to go on there. Johnny Curtis has now got Maxine as his girlfriend. Maxine turned her back on Derek Bateman. And you see Darren Young's causing a lot of troubles for Titus O'Neil and Percy Watson. Looks like D. Young, he could be a threat to go in the Royal Rumble and could win. It could be the dark horse. A lot of candidates, a lot of possibilities could have who's going to be in the Royal Rumble this year. And we'll find out as the weeks go on. Hall of Fame inductions, yes indeed. Oh, this video's long. Hall of Fame inductions. Edge, I was shocked, and I thought he would be inducted like a few years down the road, but because of the situation where some of the wrestlers are not getting inducted because of this situation, that situation, with Chris Benoit with a murder situation, they probably would not want to induct him. Owen Hart, because of his wife, his widow, and just in her bitter mind. I was surprised the British Bulldog. I don't think Diana has a problem. And with the WWE or Vince or anybody else, so I don't see why not the Bulldog should be inducted. Demolition should be another, but I heard Axe has got a grudge against if some of these people can get over their grudges, make us WWE fans happy. I'm getting sick and tired of, okay, I don't want this guy in the Hall of Fame because I have a grudge against him or something like that. Just get over your grudges, people, and just make us WWE fans happy. That's all I'm asking. I'm getting sick and tired of, okay, this person not getting the Hall of Fame because his wife. Stop with the grudges. Sick of the grudges. Just swallow your pride. Accept it. Accept the fact that the WWE fans miss the superstars. Like I said, to Martha Hart, just stop with the grudges, alright? Stop with the grudges. I can understand your pain. You lose someone you love. It's not that easy, but you need to understand, alright? Us WWE fans, we hardcore fans of the WWE loved your husband. We respected Owen Hart. We loved Owen Hart. We would like for you to at least accept him into the have him get accepted in the Hall of Fame. That way, you can that's the closure you're gonna get. This won't go away, Martha, unless you get Owen Hart inducted to the Hall of Fame, and you can rest easy after that. All right, that's all we ask is that have your husband inducted into the Hall of Fame. So Edge, congratulations to you, and congratulations to the Four Horsemen. Even though Ric Flair got inducted a few years back, but this time around, the rest of the Four Horsemen will be joining him in that enshrinement. So who's going to be next on it? People saying Yokozuna could be going into the Hall of Fame, and people say The Rock. I'd be happy if The Rock goes in the Hall of Fame, and The Rock his legacy will cement right there and then. After this match against Cena, I think The Rock will cement his legacy. And Edge is the youngest inductee so far into the Hall of Fame, so that's really, really big. Edge has made history once again. So and he's the first superstar from the actual Attitude Era to be inducted. Well, Shawn Michaels was. Gotta think about that. If anybody, either Shawn Michaels may be the first guy from the Attitude Era inducted to the Hall of Fame. So if that's the case, if you guys think I'm right, comment on it or like the video. If not, comment on it if you believe Edge is. So it's kind of a toss up. So I believe Edge. With Shawn Michaels has been around before the Attitude Era. So I think Edge could be the first from the Attitude Era to be inducted to the Hall of Fame, which is pretty cool. Let's see, who else? Savage, because of the situation with Stephanie, but Savage is dead. He may end up, getting... We all know Mil Mascaras will be inducted as well, even though they didn't officially announce him on TV. But who knows? Who do you guys think should be inducted into this year's Hall of Fame? Send me your comments, please, and tell me your reason why this person should be inducted. And I would agree with most of the comments you get. And if you guys feel that like your favorite superstar or a certain superstar got snubbed, let me know on your comments page, please. Keep the comments clean. I appreciate that. I don't want to delete or be mean to anybody and delete it. All right. So that is all the news for today. Sorry for the long video. It's a lot to talk about. A lot on my mind as usual. This is the People's Lima saying, hope your dig hits the bullseye. See you later, and God bless. Peace out. Bye-bye.